haven't quite figured out where I'm going to be filming here in my new apartment. But for today, we are going to be talking about Half Dome. So if you guys tuned in last week, you will have noticed that my Half Dome video posted. And just so that everything kind of flows, I just wanted to kind of break apart from trip videos and talk about some tips if you are hiking Half Dome. To start off, how do you get to hike Half Dome? So in the early spring of every year, the Half Dome lottery opens. And there are details about it, and it kind of changes every year. This year, I believe there were 200 permits given out per day. Now to enter the lottery, it is $10 per person that's entering. So when me, Becca, and Yates went, we each entered, so it cost each person $10. But you can enter for as many days as you want. So if you live near Yosemite, you could do a bunch of different dates and then just go on whatever day that you happen to get a permit for. The three of us each put in for 4 different dates that we were going to be out there. So we had 12 possible entries to get a permit. Of those 12 entries, we got 1. While we were there, we also ran into a couple of people who did not have permits. And they asked us if we had extra space on ours. Don't be that guy. I get that people are locals and they think that rules don't apply to them, but the permitting system is there for a lot of reasons, one of which is safety, and you really shouldn't ever mess with that. So don't be that guy. Don't go unless you have a permit. So you've gotten your permit, and what should you do first? The hike is difficult. Me and my friends are very in shape people, and even we had difficulty on this hike up. It is not an easy hike. It is not a hike that somebody who's unprepared for is going to enjoy. Can you still do it? Probably, but that doesn't mean that you're going to be able to fully enjoy it and not feel like you're dying the entire time. So the first thing you should do is start preparing. Go to your gym, get on the Stairmaster.
Get to the gym, do the Stairmaster.
Go out and actually hike a bunch. Hey, that's also a great way to see your local parks. And don't underestimate the hike. A lot of people are really worried about the cables. The cables were not the worst part. The 7-mile hike was the worst part. And remember, it's 7 miles one way. When you finish Half Dome, you still have to walk back to your car, and that's another 7 miles. It's a 14-mile round trip. It is not a short day. The National Park Service actually recommends that hikers start at 5 a.m. Heed their recommendation. It was actually really great when we started. We had pretty much the entire trail to ourselves, and we were really able to enjoy our hike. So my second tip for hiking Half Dome is water, water, water. Okay, the last stop for water on this entire hike, like running water out of a spigot, is 1 mile in. That means you have 12 miles round trip before you hit that water source again. So either you need to be carrying at minimum 4 liters of water per person, that's recommended by the National Park Services, or you can do what me and my friends did and carry 1 to 2 liters per person, as well as stopping to filter water. Now you might be thinking to yourself, what the heck is a water filter? I don't have money for this stuff. Carry 4 liters of water. But if you're interested, this is a water filter. This is also a water filter. Both of these run under 30 bucks, I think. I think this one's about 15 and this one's in the 20 range. Is when you pass by that beautiful stream that you walk by on your way up to Half Dome. When you run out of water, you just fill up a bag like this one and run it through your filter, and then now you have fresh, clean, and cold water that you can drink. So that negates the amount of water you have to carry at a time, but you do have to stop and filter. The last nice water source is about 2 miles from the top, I want to say, and the nice big river that we filtered from on 2 different occasions is about 4 to 5 miles from the top. So it's still quite a ways. So you still have to carry enough water to make it in between stops. Do not get dehydrated. You don't want to be that person that has to get rescued by Yosar. So along with drinking water, you also need to make sure you're replenishing your electrolytes. Me and my friends had recently discovered Noon or None, I have no idea how you're supposed to say that, tablets, and you just put it in your water. It gives it a little bit of a flavor, but it also helps replenish those electrolytes that you are sorely missing. So now we're going to move on to food.
There's a lot of food in here.
Oh. So Becca and I are the only ones who underestimated our food?
Yeah, we're stupid.
Pack twice as much as you think you need. Both me and Becca severely underestimated the amount of food we would want. Again, we were fine. I still ate a bunch of food. I had lunch. It was okay. But would I have been happier if I had more food? Definitely. Would I have not had to lick all the peanut butter out of a plastic bag? I mean, I wouldn't have had to. Probably still would have. My number 4 tip is to practice politeness. Now, we really didn't see a lot of this on the trail. We actually ran into some really, really amazing people. But it's just so important when you're in a situation like this to just be kind. Sometimes people take a little longer on the cables. That's okay. And if you're a person who's not afraid, you need to understand that this is a very scary thing for a lot of people. And so just be kind when you're encountering other people on the trail, and especially on those cables. So let's talk about number 5, footwear. With your footwear, I recommend hiking boots. I do not recommend tennis shoes, chacos, flip-flops, or anything else. I only can recommend hiking shoes. But once you get on those cables and you're on that slick granite, you're going to want something with more traction. And that is where hiking boots happen to be superior. Another thing that me and my friends did, and that you should too, is carry an extra pair of socks. So I would wear one pair of Darn Toughs and carry a second. Now, anytime we would stop to take a break, especially a long one, I would take my shoes off, take my socks off, and switch out my socks. So I was putting on fresh, dry socks. Additionally, break in your boots. Our 6th topic is sun protection.
Sun protection. Get some.
There are tons of different ways that you can protect your skin from the sun, including sunscreen and sun shirts and buffs and umbrellas sometimes. So I'm just going to talk about some of the things that we used. So this is my Columbia sun shirt. I actually have a few of these. And what's really cool about this, it's got really good venting, which really helps your body, breathe. And it protects you from the sun, and it's in a super cute color. Another thing that we use is buffs. So if you've not discovered the majesty of a buff, I'm here to enlighten you. So this is my over the edge buff. So something cool about buffs, they're just this tubey of fabric. They are stretchy and they are UV protectant. So what we can do is, so let's say you got your sun shirt on, you got your buff on, and I can pull this up, so now it's just protecting my neck. So buffs are amazing. I love them. I have a million of them. Another thing that you might not think of that I would recommend bringing is chapstick. So if there was one thing Yates said he would bring that he did not bring, it was chapstick. So the last thing I would like to tell you guys is just enjoy your hike. It's really long, it's kind of arduous, it's pretty difficult, but it's absolutely gorgeous, and the view from the top is breathtaking. So enjoy your hike, get outside and have fun. Let me know in the comments below if you've been to Half Dome and you have any other advice for maybe people who are heading out there, or if you have any questions, I will try to do my best to answer them. That is all we have for this week. Next week, we're going to dive into some LCAP rappelling videos, ascending, all that stuff. So stay tuned. Make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.
So, question. What would you have done differently about today?
I had a bladder bag instead of a water bottle because I was not drinking enough water because we were like walking and it was like difficult to access. So, yeah, that mainly.
the tone